Hey everybody, it's showing no sound, so let's see what we got there. Me and Allie were trying to figure it out. So let's okay, so we got sound there. So let's try to get back on the show, see if we can hear some sound on the show.
Hey.
Okay, all right. So it's wanting to play games with me tonight. So we're gonna try to figure this one out. We had it for a second, so we'll figure it out. Let's see. How are y'all guys doing tonight? Welcome to American Courts, where we have sound sometimes we don't have sound. It also shows that I'm streaming over it at American Courts too, so I don't know what the hell is going on tonight, but we will figure it out and we will ride it along with it. Let's see. Let's try one more time, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something different. So let's try.
Hey, you ready? Hey, good morning.
Last week, the state filed a motion for an in-camera review on a case that's on docket Friday for Brady material.
Okay.
Nothing's been released to me yet, so I was wondering.
What's the last name?
The last name is Rubin, Rubin.
That I don't have. I know that you gave me. I don't have it. Do you have it electronically or how do you have it? Make sure. Yeah, I don't remember getting. No. We'll get it to you now. So before we leave today.
What's your client's name?
Last name is Rubin, Rubin.
That's your cell phone, right?
His name is
I'll
Chan.
text you once we get in.
Just want to make sure before we come back on Friday when it's on docket, or whether we need to come back even. For sure.
Judge, this is it was a one-page. We filed it and we filed it.
Do you have another copy? Perhaps just print it out and then we'll give it to him. Connor, talk to me.
An Angel Pena?
Is it on? It's on docket today?
Yes.
Pena.
UCW marijuana, the state, was looking for labs. Turns out that the officer never even made the request to get the drugs tested. Said that this was kind of our last setting today.
So we, Ms. Farmer spoke to the officer 30 days ago at the last setting and let him know, asked him whether or not he had ever put in a request. The officer said he did not. Ms. Farmer had asked him whether he to do that, so that we would have the results within the next 30 days before the next setting per your instruction. And we put in an escalation request as well.
Yeah, you're not going to get it for another 6 months.
No, well, I spoke to the officer yesterday because I saw that we did not have the labs in. And he said he never put in the request at all.
Oh, holy moly.
Yeah.
So we need to email this dude's supervisor. That's unacceptable. That's
Yeah.
no.
And then I spoke
Over.
to HFSC to confirm whether or not that was true, and they advised it was. We had Hector from grand jury put in the request himself.
Oh, no,
then,
it's
but
done. No.
It's done. No, I agree, and
Yeah.
we're letting you know the situation, Judge.
You want to set up a trial now? Okay, yeah. I mean, or do you just want to? How do you want to go forward?
Let it go.
Okay, done. Tell this dude to behave, because if he comes back,
Yes, sir. Judge,
mm-mm,
to be honest, he is very afraid of me. I don't think he wants to come back here.
I hope not. Because but you should we need to do something to discourage this. It's unacceptable that they tell you they're going to do something and then they don't do it. That's
We agree.
so unacceptable. I mean, at the minimum, what I would do is let their supervisor know that, hey, guys, we now have to dismiss the case because of either laziness, just you forget. I mean, who knows? I don't know, but
He just decided not to do it.
yeah, that's unacceptable. And I mean, you got to hold them accountable.
Oh,
Okay.
we agree, Judge. I'll try to speak to his supervising officer and let him know.
Okay.
I have the disclosure documents, Judge. Just one page.
Oh. Ready?
Judge, just really quick, I have one more quick thing on docket today.
Yeah.
Coriel Dixon, she's in a PTI, the PTI is to complete her GED. She's still doing that. We provided the proof of her enrollment and everything, but she's still, doing the classes and waiting for her to get her certificate.
We need to know just more than she's doing the classes. We need to prove how she's doing it, where she's doing it, how many classes she's done, because it's a lot of different things that you got to do. And just you telling me you're doing it, it's 180 days. Where is she?
She's not here today.
So, okay, so we'll set her off 2 weeks.
Okay.
She better have a bunch of stuff done by the next time she gets here. Otherwise, tell her it's just,
Got it. Thanks,
Okay.
Judge.
Connor, if she comes in 2 weeks and she's got like one class done, I'm gonna hit the roof.
Got it.
Let her know. Michelle, hey,
Two issues. The first one is Miss Zhang. It's on docket ZHENG.
this was a
This was-
P180, right?
That's right. And we have a date. The interview date is December 12th. That was the first date available.
Okay.
And so I would just ask if we could reset it. Pardon?
It's 321 days. And now
It
we have,
was the prior attorney didn't show up. She didn't know it. And then
is she here?
she's here and we've signed the contract and we have the date.
Okay.
Everything is in place.
Are you able to communicate with her? She speak English?
I have Google Translate and there is an interpreter here who I know who drove her here. And so I'm able to communicate.
No,
Through him.
that this is the absolute last.
Yes, Your Honor.
Like if she fails to appear at this, then
I understand.
by then it's like 400 and forget about it.
I understand, Your Honor. I will let her know 100%.
Give you the day after to make sure that she shows up, and then after that, we're gonna have to set it off again, right? For another follow-up.
I believe so, Your Honor.
So set it, what day's the interview?
December 12th?
So if you can set it for December 13th, I know it's a Friday, but come on.
Friday the 13th?
All right.
Next Monday.
Okay, just admonish her, she gotta go.
I will make sure.
Okay, all right, Ms. Shealy.
And
Number
then
2.
I have Miss Ely. And we are ready to take a plea on that.
Last name?
Ely, E-A-L-Y.
She's got bond violations, so.
She does, Your Honor. I have not seen the report, but
Or you want to just do the plea today?
we have already done the paperwork, Your Honor, and
Okay, I mean, because it's 1,500 days old, so
I understand.
let's just do it.
Have her.
Oh, yeah, she can be in the
She'll be there. Right. Thank you.
What was the bond violation for?
Your Honor, it was for alcohol use. She was at a catering event and we believe it's nail
I didn't use
polish.
any, I didn't have any.
Blah, blah, blah. You know, Miss Ely, in life, excuses go in this ear, they go out that ear. What is important are actions. That's what rides. Your case is 1,547 days old. We asked you to do one thing, two, show up and don't use.
Judge, I'm sending you over the report right now. And Judge, I would like to say it was, all of our stream devices, they're sent to a specific officer that's very thoroughly checked it, and it was a confirmed positive, and that's the report that I'm sending you right now. I'll show you distribution levels as well. Judge, you have to.
Hey everybody, I had to bring this one up. I hadn't had a chance to watch it, and I'd seen some comments in Fleischer's Court on it, and so I figured I'd throw it up here and see how that goes. I didn't see him do the blah 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 thing before, so that's kind of funny to see. I don't know what's going on with the sound from earlier. I'm going to try to fix it before Court Addict. If not, we may just run on here and call it a night. It is Sunday night after all. I don't know how. They say we got an extra hour of sleep, but I think we lost a couple extra hours, so we'll see how that goes. Let's jump back in.
So we have one date that she's consuming alcohol on a Saturday night.
Your
I'm
Honor,
not doing this.
I was at work.
Take a seat for me in the jury box. Man. We got to work something else out because I think we're setting her up for failure. She can't even just 1 week stay without drinking after years and years of. I think that. Mr. Elick, I think we're setting her up for failure, which you will just end up with a conviction and then perhaps wrap her car around a pole the next week. Not on my watch. So I think that we need to monitor her, make sure that she's not going to go out there and do some more permanent and serious damage, you know? So probation is what?
have to be the 177th like now.
Go,
So,
go. I don't want you to get in trouble. Can you go?
okay. Let's see if it comes.
You know, it really scares me to think that not even a couple days can go by and you test positive for alcohol. I mean, either you just don't care about bond conditions or you have a problem, you know?
Am I allowed to speak?
No, there, at this point, there's nothing that you can say. You know, my kids, I've got a ton of kids, Miss Ely, and when they do wrong, I try to, you know, I try to discipline them. And when they tell me sorry because they did something wrong, you know, I hug them, I give them a kiss on the cheek. Buddy, I get it. I'm sorry. When they make the same mistake again, I'm like, look, I told you before, you're doing wrong. This is why. And then when they make the same thing again, and they try to tell me sorry, I'm like, but do you think I believe that sorry? You keep making the same mistake and you want me to believe that you're sorry? Just man up and tell me you just don't give a rat's behind. You know, here, do you not see the analogy? Over and over. Your case is 1,500 days. We set cases for trial at 180 days. If you have a problem with alcohol, Miss Ely, you better address it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you, and I promise you're not going to like the way that I do. If I find that you test positive for alcohol while you're on this probation, I will put you in a rehab facility. Do you understand? It is a minimum of around 6 to 9 months if you respond well to treatment. If you don't, you're looking at about a year and a half. All we want are our streets to be safe. That's all we want. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal, Ms. Ely, meaning that once you accept this agreement today, you can never change this. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that this DWI will go on your record. If you ever get pulled over and you have even the remote faintest smell of alcohol, chances are you're going to pick up a second DWI, and everything doubles up on a second. From now on, you are looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up in here. If you get in a car, I hope that you don't even have a sip of alcohol, because it's going to cost you a lot, babe. As part of the probation, for you to complete it successfully, you must do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess further conditions, you must fulfill them. You must do a thinking for a change, driving while intoxicated, education class, 2 victim impact panels. You must have a guardian interlock, no breath test refusal. So if you're pulled over and an officer asks you to submit to a breath sample, you must take a breath test. No drugs, no alcohol. Have you looked up to see if she has a valid license, Alex?
Your Honor, she does not.
I don't drive.
She does not drive. And
And making it, you will be signing an affidavit with me today, Ms. Ely, that you're not going to drive while you're on this probation. The worst possible thing you can do is drive. I'm telling you, there's no better way to assess a lengthy. Just don't drive. If you want to drive, all we ask you to do is get a license, get insurance, and then you must have an interlock on the car. Because you're not driving, you must get a portable breath test device. 3 days to get the device. How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, man? I will find you guilty. One more thing I'm going to tell you is the worst possible thing that you can do is stop reporting. Because if you stop reporting, we're going to issue a warrant for your arrest. If you ever have problems with the DWI, just come back and we can talk through it. To me, I don't care about money. I will waive your fees on everything that I can. I cannot pay for outside classes, so that I can't pay for, but everything I can, and I will pay for you. It's never about the money. It's about doing what you say that you're going to do and staying drug and alcohol free for a year. Can you see if she qualifies for TAP funding?
She's unemployed, based on information she gives me, so I'm gonna send you.
Why are you unemployed?
I work overnight at a
at a club, but I haven't been going since I have the things on my legs. Like I work as a bottle girl, so I haven't been going since I've been having these things on my legs. Because of the outfits that I have to wear, I can't go to work with those on my legs. So I haven't been working 2 weeks.
So how are you getting income?
Right now I stay home with my mom. And let me rephrase that. I'm currently enrolled in cosmetology school from 9 to 5, and I just graduated phlebotomy school too. So I'm doing stuff.
Is it perhaps the lifestyle that's not, it's bringing you down?
I was trying to that's why I've been going to school. So
Great, good. That's what yes. And that's what we want with you, Miss Ely. Sometimes if you're in a bad environment, it's going to drag you down. And that's what we don't want. We want to see you flourish. We want to see you become the great person that you can, But I don't know if it's the environment that's taking you down, but if you can, get into cosmetology, or that would be great.
in school, I go to school from 9 to 5.
When are you going to graduate?
I don't graduate to April. It's 6 months. I don't graduate to April 15th. And I just graduated phlebotomy school last month.
Did you say phlebotomy school?
Yes.
Okay, so can they
couldn't get
set
a
you
job
up
in
with a job?
Yeah, I couldn't get a job in phlebotomy because this kept coming up on my background, so I could never get
So that's why you finally came to get stuff taken care of. You can run, but you can't hide forever. It's going to come back to you one time. Okay, cut all her fees, please. And then let's see if she qualifies for TAP funding. We're going to try to get you to qualify for TAP funding so it pays for everything for you. Like I said, if you ever have a problem, just come back and talk to us. Don't take off because it's the worst thing you can do. Also consider it's going to go on your record. So if you're ever driving, even a remote smell, it's not going to end up well, man. All right. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement, sentence you to it. I'm not going to suspend your license, ma'am. But if you don't have a license, don't drive. Go back to DPS. They can help you get a license. It's not hard.
I did show her what she needs to do for that.
What's that?
I was able to pull that up and show her what she needs to resolve before she can get that.
Here is the number to the DPS driver's license division. You might give that to her. If you call them, you can ask them and they will tell you exactly what you need to do to get a license back. When you call them, don't call at 8, don't call at 9. You have to call right at 7 in the morning because otherwise the phone lines get so busy, you'll never get through. Trust me, when you call them, if you want to get your license, that is, call them at 7 o'clock sharp. You'll never get through otherwise. All right, good luck, man. Thanks. Yeah, wave it all.
Hey everybody, I think this is my third or fourth time trying the show tonight. How are y'all doing tonight? I don't know how it got over to American Courts too, but we're back over here, so we're going to stay right here. Thank you everyone for coming out. We got a couple of good landlord-tenant stuff. I'm going to start with the crazy one and with the happier one. So let's jump over to Judge Middleton for the odd one.
Good morning.
Morning.
We'll get everybody here on the screen. Take us a minute.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, I think we've got everybody. Terry Richmond is here with her technical assistant assisting. We can see everything in her closet. And
Now you can see.
and we're good to go. Miranda Wonders and Jacob Warner are here. And Dina Brode is here. Is it Brode or Brody?
Broad.
Brode, all right. Your case is set here in a minute, a little bit. Well, let's actually start early, I think. All right. And I think Meg Bauer is here with us from Legal Aid. We appreciate her assistance every week.
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Good
I'll
morning.
get my camera on in just a second.
All right, you're fine. All right, you folks are here as defendants in a landlord-tenant case. As such, you have certain rights. You have the right to hire an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, a legal aid attorney may be available to help you, and a representative from legal aid is here on the live feed with us and would be available for a consultation if needed. You have the right to have the matter heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located. You have a right to demand a jury trial. If you want a jury trial, you must tell the court at this hearing or make the demand in writing within 5 days with the jury demand form MC-22 and pay the $50 fee for a jury, unless the judge waives that fee for financial or other reasons. Both of these are termination of tenancy cases, so there is no issue of paying rent. So sometimes I would advise you of your right to get, or at least request, some emergency financial assistance. That's not an issue here. These are both termination of tenancy cases. You may be able to reach an agreement with the plaintiff outside of court. If you do that, we could file something called a conditional order of dismissal. We could give you further advice regarding that. And both parties, if they are agreeable, we could refer the matter to mediation for an attempted settlement by mediation. That has not ever happened yet, but it may at one point. All right, let's talk about Terry Richmond and Larry Richmond versus Jacob Warner and Miranda Wonders. This is a property at 617 South Main Street. I drive past this property 10 times a week. They want you to move. There's a cockroach problem in the property. Your adjoining property owner is complaining. She has written a letter to the court contending that you are raising cockroaches in your apartment. So the Richmonds want you to move out so they can, I guess, treat this unit. Is that correct, Ms. Richmond?
Yes. There's a letter that I gave you from Strix Pest Control.
Yes, there's also a pest control invoice that you've done pest control treatment in this unit. The neighbor also says that there's garbage and trash outside the premises. Ms. Wonders and Mr. Warner, what's your position?
I don't even know what to say.
We've tried talking with them and they don't want to work with us, so I guess we're just gonna get evicted.
I mean, we were having pest control come, and then it just kind of abruptly stopped. I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
You said you had it under control. That it was.
Oh, just a minute, just a minute.
We never
It's her
said
turn
that.
to talk. All right, now, I think there were also issues with the yard, mow and clean up the backyard and that sort of thing. So
we did clean
several letters.
We have cleaned the backyard.
We let Larry haul everything out of our backyard.
It's just.
Well, that was gracious of you.
We've been trying to clean the property up, but it's kind of hard when you don't have the funds to do that. So.
Well, let me tell you what the deal is here. You get a 7-day adjournment to seek legal advice or other advice, and then we'll adjourn this for a week. And then if the Richmonds get what they ask for, you have 10 days from that day to move out. So 7 days from now would be November 1st. And then you would have 10 days from November 1st, which would be November 11th, which is a holiday for Veterans Day. So you'd have until November 12th to move out. Have you tried to make any provisions to move out?
We got nothing.
We literally have nothing.
We're a 6-family home on one income. All the income we have goes out as soon as it comes in. So we have no family. We got no family to go to, nothing. So we have no plans.
All right, I see people like this each week in dire straits, and nobody wants you to move in when you're coming from a cockroach house.
Yeah.
When I came back from law school in Detroit at Wayne State University, we had some cockroaches in our building. It was treated. My father made me take every single thing out of my belongings and go through it before I was allowed to bring anything in the house. He didn't want me to bring cockroaches to our house, which we never had. So I don't know what to tell you. Your neighbors are complaining. Your landlord has filed this action for you to move so they can get all your stuff out of there and deep treat this property. So Ms. Richmond, is there any arrearage or in rent, or is it simply this issue?
No, they owe $27.94.
That wouldn't be an issue. We could pay that.
All right, well, you're right. Once they file a termination of tenancy, they can't accept any rent.
Yeah.
So hold on to that money. You may need it as a first month's deposit or something someplace else.
Well, see, no, the thing is, I can draw that from my 401k as a hardship to pay the rearage, but I can't draw that to get into a new house.
All right. Okay, well, you guys are in a tough spot. Have you asked DHS or anybody else for any help?
DHS barely even helps us with food stamps.
I don't have a magic answer for you.
Yeah.
An eviction is a very unpleasant thing. The sheriff or the sheriff's agent comes and puts all your stuff out in the street. I've mentioned several times recently, they just did one at Riverside Townhouses, and the stuff was just all on the side of the road, and people were stopping and picking through it, and it's like a free yard sale. But this is a problem. The neighbors are complaining. Your landlord is complaining. The neighbor doesn't have it. You have it. Often the defendants contend, well, I got the cockroaches from the landlord, not the other way around. But their contention here is the way the property is maintained has allowed this problem. So I don't know. All I do know is we're going to have to address this again next Friday, and I don't see a better answer then than I see right now. But let's take a look at next Friday. We're into November already, Judge Patterson's favorite month.
Wonder why he likes November. Thanksgiving.
How are you for 2 p.m. on Friday, November 1st?
That's fine for me.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, I don't even know what else to say. We'll address this further. And as I indicated, if they get what they ask for, you would have 10 days from that day to move, which would be November 12th. So
see, that's another thing though. Whenever we try to contact them, we cannot get a hold of them unless they want something from us. That's the only time we can get a hold of them.
Well, Lydia's there much of the time, and they're there a lot. I don't know what to tell you. They want you to move because they say that your apartment is unsanitary and it's full of cockroaches. And you've been there for a long time. And
we're willing to get rid of stuff out our house.
I'm
To help
willing to
get
do
rid of
whatever
them.
it takes to stay
If
here.
they're willing to help us do it, like if Larry would let us use his trailer, we're willing to get rid of stuff so that the house could get treated.
I'm willing to get rid of almost everything
all
I
right, well,
have.
you're certainly entitled to continue to discuss this with your landlord between now and
Okay.
then, and I encourage you to do that. But otherwise, I will see you next Friday at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. So that was crazy enough. Guys got a 401k, but got roaches. It don't take long once they start getting infested, and these guys were goners and didn't seem like they were doing much to help themselves out. They just kind of stuck their head in the sand, and that doesn't ever work. So guess what? Bill figured out how to do a damn follow-up. So he got the follow-up for this hearing. So here we go with that.
Thank you. Now, our last matter is Terry and Larry Richmond versus Miranda Wonders and Jacob Warner. We were here on October 25th. And we had a pretty substantial arrearage, and now we've got a new month. They were seeking some assistance, but not having much success. Miss Richmond, what's the current arrearage?
3,410, but this is a termination of tenancy.
Oh, let's look. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Cockroaches.
That's, yeah, the beginning.
Miss Wonders and Mr. Warner, do you have any luck finding a place to move to?
No.
Well, people tell me a lot. I would move if I had somewhere to move to. You have a cockroach infestation, and the landlord contends that you're the source of the infestation. And the neighbor seems to concur, which makes you not a very attractive tenant for the next person down the line. But the Richmonds have followed the steps that it takes to terminate a tenancy. So you have 10 days from today to move out, or you're subject to being evicted. Now, 10 days from today is Veterans Day and the courthouse is closed. So I'm going to go to November 12th. No money judgment is entered at this time. After you move out, they will do an assessment and they can apply your security deposit to unpaid rent or utilities or other damage, but they generally do a hearing and they've paid the fee for supplemental damages. I'm not ordering that you pay any money right now. I'm ordering that you move. If you don't move, she can get a writ of eviction and have the sheriff come put you and your possessions out on November 12th. So this isn't very pleasant. As I said, in the last 2 weeks, I probably signed 10 writs of eviction. Do you have any questions? No, it's a sad circumstance. I don't disagree, but they're entitled to the relief that they've asked for. All right, stay in contact with your landlord. The eviction is a very unpleasant process if you move voluntarily, and they can give you more time if you say, well, hey, I'll be out by the 15th if you give me a couple extra days. It's a lot easier to wait a couple days and have the sheriff and a crew come and move everything out, but stay in contact with the Richmonds. You're good to go.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Oh, they already left. Okay, I'll call them. I was gonna have them, if they did move, to turn in their keys.
Oh, yes, I forgot to tell them that. Turn in the keys and I think I told him that last time, but I did not say it here.
Okay, that's all right. I'll call him.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're trying to figure out why cockroaches are called cockroaches. Linus has a theory, but I think Linus's theories are normally wrong. I'm assuming they were named that by an American because America names everything. Saturday Night Live had a great skit about America and our naming our imperial system. So if you get a chance to check it out, it's probably the only funny thing I've seen on Saturday Night Live in the last 20 years. But we've got some Judge Simpson landlord-tenant court. It's a little bit happier. Judge Simpson had a good attitude with it on Friday, and so here we go.
Strong Future Homes versus Crystal Shelton.
Do you think the plaintiff?
Could be better.
It could be worse.
Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
Crystal.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ms. Shelton's total, including costs, is $1,353.
1353. And that includes her November.
It does.
What's your monthly rent, ma'am?
583 on a basis.
583. Okay. That's about right. That's fine. We don't have to have the exact amount, but okay. So how are you going to try to get this paid?
Actually, Your Honor, her rent's now 117.
Oh, it's okay.
I had paid the court on the.
I got to throw out there and just say how happy I am that Sleepy showed up. Sleepy's from over in UK and shows up in Judge Fleischer's court all the time, and so it was good to see him out there. That made my day better. We've got I don't know. People keep saying they don't have cockroaches. I grew up in Florida and we've got them everywhere here. They're everywhere. Some people call them water bugs. Some people call them palmetto bugs, but I think they're just cockroaches. And Victoria, about the twerk off. I'm old enough to where I couldn't even understand the mechanics of that dance, and my wife actually let me know that my 16-year-old daughter is really good at it, but I'm never going to find out, and I'm not going to. That's way too much information for me. But so we're going to roll on with that. But Throw the Goat, coming all the way from Australia, fixes that for us. So it's a Spanish word. So there we go. But there again, I was happy to see Grumpy out there. For some reason, I love it whenever I see him in chat. It makes me smile. So thank you to Grumpy. You have a good night.
On the other day for 400 and I gave rent 118.
You did what now? Oh, okay. You paid 400 escrow to the court. So we have, Mr. Fink, we have 400.
I paid 400 plus 600.
Oh, you paid another. What do we have?
She paid 200 on the 23rd of September.
Thank you.
And that's the last payment I have.
Hold on. She's right. We have 1056 in escrow.
1056?
We have 1056. So she's just, it looks like it's probably court costs, right?
Yep.
All right. So
how much do you need to get that? 300.
I'm lost. So
okay. You owe 1353. We have 1056. Somebody math. Subtract that out. How much difference?
297.
290. Thank you.
97.
So about $300 is the difference. And that's typically, I think you were paying and you've got your rent paid. That's just about the amount of court costs, maybe a little bit less. So how soon could you try to get that paid, you think?
the 300?
Yeah.
I believe in 2 weeks.
Okay. Can you do it in 2 weeks?
Sure.
Yeah. Hold it. Young lady, you have to tell me if you can't, is that gonna, All right, look. Okay, tell me what's going on.
There's other issues that's going on financially.
Pardon?
There's other things I'm going through financially.
You have, okay, all right. So listen. Tell me when you can get this paid. When, because you got other stuff you got to take care of, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your rent now is 117. So,
Which I paid yesterday.
okay.
So, Your Honor, I don't have that reflected on the ledger.
Okay, so hold on a second. So you paid 117 to the landlord?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
That makes
Thank
180.
you. So that makes 180. Okay, so that actually makes more sense in terms of cost. All right. Tell me this. You got to kind of make it through this month. Is that what the deal is? I mean, from your other stuff you got to pay. You got to get through this month, right?
I'm trying.
Oh, okay. All right. Miss Shelton, you're going to make it. Okay. We're not going to do anything that's going to make it any more difficult for you. So if what I said, there's $180.
Sorry.
Hang on. It's okay. It's okay. Just listen to me. If I said that you had to pay the $180 by, say, December 15th, would that help you out? If I put it into the next month for you? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Would it? Okay, you got to tell me if it's not going to help you.
Yes, sir. It will help.
It will help you?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Are you working or no?
I'm working as a paraprofessional.
Pardon?
As a teacher assistant, kindergarten teacher assistant.
Okay, so tell me this. You get paid every 2 weeks or?
Roughly, yes.
Roughly?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a hard question because I don't even know the answer for myself. What days, do you know what days you get paid in December?
On a Friday.
Yeah, you get paid on a Friday. Do you know what? So when was your last check? I can do it. Did you get paid this week?
Yes, as I was not this week. No, I haven't got paid
Okay,
yet.
so you get paid next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. That would be should get paid on the 8th, 22nd, 6th, 20th. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for you, okay? You paid the 117, you owe 180. I'm going to release all the escrow to the plaintiff.
And what's that amount, Your Honor?
That 1056. Okay, so I'm going to release that to them. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to indicate defendant to pay days I have 20th. 6th. Okay. So yeah, she got 6th and 20th. Okay. We're going to do it this way, Michelle. You're going to pay $90 to the landlord on the December 20th. Okay. And then you still got to pay your rent. And then you're going to pay the other $90 to the landlord on January 3rd.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And so we'll split it apart. And then that way we'll do it and you'll get it all paid. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll just adjourn it out to make sure we got the payments in. We had 8 a.m. Oh, I could just make it Friday and make it 8 a.m. because you guys don't have time. All right. And so what I'll do.
Except for
Except for. Okay. Good enough. Thank you. Because that's the date I would have picked. So, all right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn this out to January 10th, 2025. I'm going to set it at 8 a.m. because we don't have our time set yet. Okay, don't show up here at 8 a.m. because I won't be here. Okay, all right. I'm gonna set it at 8 AM. If everything's paid, then this case is just gonna get dismissed and you'll be all set.
Okay, sir. Please.
Sound good?
Yes.
You feel better?
A little bit better.
A little bit? Okay, it's the best I can do. I tried.
Is it okay with the court if she pays early and gets it dismissed?
If she pays early and gets dismissed, you're good, but I don't. You got other stuff to take care of. I want you to take care of what you got to take care of. Okay, and I broke it apart so you can try to manage it a little bit better, okay?
Thank you, sir.
You're so welcome. All right. Young lady, have a great weekend.
Will I get that copy?
You know what? I'm gonna give you a copy of this judgment that I marked up. I don't understand. It's not a judgment. If it says you can't do that. Yes. A90, well, 90. That's assuming you paid the money you said, which I know you did. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care of yourself. You want to talk to me? She's just talking to Jim.
James Finkfield, plaintiff. What are you doing?
I'm trying to log into my escrow account.
Hello, Ms. Chambers.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm glad to see you.
Uh-oh. What did I do?
I watch you all the time.
Okay.
Me too.
All right.
But I'm just hoping that maybe you can figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Because I can't figure it
You can't figure it out?
out. No, sir, I cannot.
All right. How much is owing?
$3,084 even.
All right.
So how do you come to $3,084?
I asked my client, and they tell me what you owe and send me a ledger.
Well, according to them, I owe $2,122. That's on the court paper that I got.
Right.
I appeared in court on the 20th. When I went on the 25th.
On the 25th, they were at
Over to November.
2381. And now it's November 1st.
It's not due to the 5th of the month.
Well, it's not late.
No.
It's not late. But it's okay.
But it's due today.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not late to the 5th.
Correct.
I have it there.
Pardon?
I have my money in the escrow account
Okay.
right now. I also have a letter that I presented to Waukesha Dorsey, who is the manager of Hamilton Crossings complex.
Okay. And with the subject of that letter is why you're not paying?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you would have to file an answer because why aren't you paying the money?
Because I was told by Jamaica Berry, who is the city inspector, on June 12th. She came to my house. She doesn't do a full inspection. She just tests the smoke detectors and she goes away. If you don't point things out to her, she's not looking. I took her to my bathroom and I turned the shower on so that the shower could hit the back of the wall and the side of my tub. All this stuff came out of my tub. I even have pictures.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to need you to do is put that in the form of an answer to the court. You'll need to do that by next week. Okay. Copy to the court, copy to their office of what the problems are.
Okay, because it's stated in my letter.
Okay.
And I also have a note from my doctor because I have slanted stairs and I've been waiting since 2021 to get my stairs repaired and it still has not been done. I have severe rheumatoid arthritis, which is a great fall risk. Now, I just received a text from Min Kim's from Legal Aid.
Yes, ma'am.
And she said that she received an email from Jamaica Berry stating there's nothing wrong with my steps. But I have proof in this report right here that says
Okay,
my
so
steps are
just
slanted.
listen. What you'll have to do is you have to put all of that in writing and you can attach a copy of the report to it.
Okay.
All right. Get it to the court. So you file it with the court up front. and then you also send a copy to Mr. Fink's office.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll have an answer. I'll reserve escrow in this matter. And I'll adjourn you out to November 15th at 3 p.m.
Okay. So,
Okay?
okay, because see, like there's been inspections that she should have
No,
done.
I got you, but I have to have it in a certain form.
Okay.
Come to me.
I got you.
They need to have a copy so that they can look at it and check
Okay.
what's wrong.
So I just go to where do I go?
The clerk's office.
Okay.
They'll have there's a answer form that you can use in
Okay.
part, but you'll have to attach copies of the reports that you're going to be relying.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Have a blessed weekend.
You do the same. Sycamore Meadows versus Deja Thomas.
Good afternoon again, Carrie Zanin on behalf of plaintiff.
Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
Deja Thomas.
All right. And last time we were here, the claim was for 4684. What's the claim now? We're clicked into another month.
Well, Judge, I'm actually showing that rent is $3,912 plus court costs of $190 for a total of, sorry, Judge, $4,102?
$102.
Yeah,
And
Judge, a
that-
$900 payment was made on the 29th. So that's what that brought it down a little bit. So yes.
Right. She made the 900. And then I think you said you were going to pay 400. Did you?
Yes, I was, but I was unable to at that moment.
You don't have the 4.
No.
All right. Okay. So, young lady, how are you going to try to get this?
So I get paid on the 8th.
You get paid on the 8th, and how much?
I believe it'll be between like $600 and $900.
Pardon?
Between $600 and $900 on the 8th.
Between 6 and 9?
Yes.
Okay, that's a broad. Okay, but all right, so let me just say this. You'll be at about 41. Right? Hang on. But if you, let's say if you even paid the maximum amount of the 900, then I'm still going to be at about $3,200. And
I'm talking to Hawk right now. I'm supposed to turn into some papers for them and see how much they are willing to help me with.
okay, so you had your appointment with Hawk?
Yes, on the 29th.
You had it on the 29th. I think that's, yeah, okay. And
In the midst of that, I was trying to speak with my property manager, and she wasn't really trying to help me at that moment. I had let her know that I had an appointment with Hawk that day, and that was it.
okay, but here's the thing. So what paperwork do you need to get to Hawk? Because you gotta,
Socials and pay stubs, and that's about it.
so if that was on the 29th, why haven't you gotten that over to them?
I had misplaced them, but they're with my mom. I found them.
What?
I misplaced the social securities, but I found them. They will everything will be turned in today.
You're turning everything in today?
Yes.
Okay. And then they said they'd be able to tell you something?
Yes, after I submit all paperwork.
Okay. All right, so on the 8th, you can pay. Okay, I need a more definitive number, and I'm just gonna, here's why. Because somehow or another, if Hawk helps you to the maximum amount they have.
Then I'll be responsible for the 1,100.
Right, but that's gotta be paid before Hawk's gonna pay out.
Okay, can I get to the 15th?
Pardon?
Can I get to until the 15th?
To pay what?
To
How much
pay
are you
the
gonna pay?
The 1,100.
You're
I
gonna
work at-
pay 1,100 to them by the
Yeah.
15th?
Yes, I work at a nursing home right now, and I'm picking up as much as I can, but
Okay, you're trying to pick up extra shifts and things. Okay, all right, then, lady, love. Okay, you get that information over to Hawk. Okay, I want you to get that done today. You're gonna pay $1,100 prior to the 15th, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then what I will do is I'll adjourn this out to the 15th. So you got to make sure to get those monies into them. Okay. And then we'll see what Hawk says. So then I'll adjourn this to November 15th, 2024 at 1 p.m. So you got to get that into them prior to that point in time. Okay. Prior to the 1 o'clock date so that we have good numbers that we're looking at.
Okay.
Okay. Think you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Sycamore Meadows versus Ashley Patterson.
For the record, Carrie Zanon on behalf of plaintiff, Your Honor.
Hello.
Warner,
What's your name?
Ashley Patterson.
All right. And you were going to pay 500 by the 31st. What's our balance?
Our balance, Judge, is $3,539. Court costs of $190, a total rent retained of $3,729. There was not a payment made within the last week, but I did talk to Ms. Patterson before she left, and we had actually talked to her about talking with her social worker at the school about trying to help her pay the funds, as another tenant that was there last week did the same thing. So that's what I was wondering with Ms. Patterson.
Okay.
Going on.
I did speak to the social worker. So I work at an elementary school. So I did talk to the social worker and she gave me some leads of businesses to call. And so I've been reaching out to them. I did hear back from DHS for regarding the SCR. They did deny me. So I did call and asked them like, why was I denied? She said that they were worried about the out-of-pocket costs being more than what I could afford. I said, okay, what do I need to do? She said, reapply and submit all your pay stubs and we will see what we can do. I said, okay. So I reapplied and resubmitted my pay stubs. So I'm waiting here for that. I did get paid, but my account was overdrawn by $546. And so I have what is left over from that after putting gas in my car to get here. So I have $310 to pay today.
Bless your heart.
I'm trying to do what I can, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. No, I got you. Did you make too much for Hawk? Is that what the deal is?
I haven't spoken to her because I've been trying to get other things taken care of while raising my.
Okay, so you haven't talked to Hawk?
I have not talked to her. I'm really trying to do this on my own.
All right, look, young lady. I get you. Okay.
Mhm.
Sometimes a lot of folks don't want to reach out for help when it may be there.
Mhm.
Okay. How many kids you have?
2, I have my daughter right here and my son went to work this afternoon.
Okay. So you want to do this on your own?
I'm trying to.
I know. But sometimes having that pride can be the worst thing in the world. Right?
I understand.
And also put those that you probably love the most in the world in jeopardy of not having a home. Right?
Right.
And I don't know you, but just talking to you, I don't think you want to do that.
No, I don't.
All right. So why don't we do this? We're both going to swallow our pride a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
If there's somebody out there that can help you get over this hump, let's just do it.
Okay.
Okay? Because you're working, right?
Yes, sir.
And so if this balance were to disappear, you can make your monthly payment, right?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay. So we got to find a way to make it go away.
Okay.
All right. Lady, there's no shame in that.
I know.
Okay. Everybody that's here has run across some point in their life where they needed somebody just to help them out a little
I understand.
bit. Okay. So now's your time. And let's see if we can make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How old's your daughter?
11.
Okay. So even if we don't do it for you, I'm going to do it for her.
Okay.
Got it? How does that sound?
That sounds perfect.
All right. So I'm gonna have you speak with Amy so we can see what we can do and get you in. You got, how much did you say?
$310.
That's all you got
Yes, sir.
to your name?
Yes, sir. My grandpa just filled up my tank because I went to go help him with his own divorce papers. So he put gas in my car. And I came right back out here.
Okay, listen, how are you gonna make it? So when do you get paid next?
Well, I'm going on DoorDash and out of my car is filled up. I'm gonna go out DoorDashing. I don't get paid again until the 15th.
Get $250 of that whatever that you have into the landlord.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, tuck that other part away in case something comes up with one of your kids or your son. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
So you pay that to the landlord that day. And then what I'm gonna adjourn this to the 15th, 2024 at 1 p.m. And then what we're gonna do after I adjourn here, I'm gonna have you talk to Amy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Young lady, I get you because I got one of you like it at home. Swallow that pride. Okay? Get yourself through this. Whatever it takes, get yourself through this. There is no shame in any of this. None. Zero. Zip. That's why it's out there. You hear me?
I hear.
All right. We'll see you on the 15th at 1.
Okay, see you on the 15th.
All right. Thank you. Talk to Amy, okay? I think that's it. Here.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for staying watching. We got one more for you, and this one's a good one. It's Judge O'Donnell out of Ohio. Normally Kathy's the only one that shows him, and I even have a note on here on my notes that says 30-minute scammer O'Donnell, check with Kathy first. I did check with Fozzie, just trying to see if she had played it, because I couldn't find that she had played it. I didn't hear anything, so we're going to play that one. And I know Allie abbreviated it. I love picking on her, and so she fixed it though. She did good. And Nan, just like Jennifer said, Nan would be proud of you, Allie. So you did good. All right, here we're gonna do the Judge O'Donnell just for Kathy.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. I'm going to be brief. I know we had discussions in chambers. Mr. Brzezowski has a very long record. He's not proud of it. I've had numerous conversations with him over the past couple months. He stood up, took responsibility for this case early on. He is here today to beg the court. He's here hat in hand for the court to consider giving him an opportunity at community control and possibly chance to go back into a treatment. There is a bed waiting for him at the Matt Talbot Center in the Cleveland area. While this case has been going on separately, there's been cases out of Cuyahoga County that he's pled to, and through those cases, he was referred to the Matt Talbot Center, and then he's been in our county jail, so he hasn't started his treatment there. But Your Honor, he's got a history of various offenses, but specifically here with forging checks, cashing them for the money. He was doing it in this case. He was doing it in Cuyahoga County. Mr. Brzezowski has a drug problem. I know he told probation in this case that for this matter, he used the money to buy and earn, Your Honor, but he also in the past has used money to purchase drugs. I'm asking the court, these are nonviolent offenses. He is remorseful. Again, he's taking responsibility. I'm asking the court to please consider placing him on a community control sanction, giving him an opportunity to go to Matt Talbot and put the ball in his court, Your Honor. If he doesn't follow through, and I know his history isn't promising. I know he's had probation violations in the past, but if he doesn't follow through, then he knows that he's got up to 2 years hanging over his head here. So I'm asking this court to give him an opportunity to show this court that he is serious this time, that he wants to turn his life around and hopefully sober up. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brzezowski, what do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, I just, like Mr. Watson said, I ain't proud of my record. I've been struggling my whole life with a drug addiction. I've been on, just placed in situations that I had some control over and made terrible decisions. I was also placed in situations I had no control over and made good decisions. And this one is just another opportunity, Your Honor. I'd like to show you that I can be probationable and I can be monitored. I can succeed, and I will, and I can sober up.
Then why haven't you? If you can do all that, why haven't you done it?
I've still been hanging on to records of my past, in which I've made an attempt, and actually I've cut 2 people out of my life since I've been in this county. Actually, in Cuyahoga also, I haven't contacted the woman I was involved with. I haven't contacted her.
Who's that?
That was Lori Wood.
How'd you get involved in this scam with these checks?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I found a bag on a job site with a checkbook in it.
What job site?
It was I forget where I was at. I think it was like in Middleburg Heights or somewhere, Wycliffe or some. It was a commercial. It was a commercial job site.
Who were you working for?
I was working for Novax at the time.
What's Novax?
It's a painting company. The union that I was laid off because of my drug problem.
So you're working at this job site in, where'd you say, Fairview?
I believe it was Wycliffe. I think, I'm not sure.
Didn't you
And
say?
I found a bag. I found a duffel bag, backpack,
Didn't you
and it
say
had a
Fairview
checkbook in it.
first time?
Excuse me?
Didn't you say Fairview the first time?
No.
I believe you said Middleburg Heights, Your Honor.
Middleburg Heights. And then now it's Wycliffe?
I'm not sure where it was, Your Honor.
Okay, so what did you find?
I found a duffel bag, a backpack with a checkbook in it. And the job site was empty because we're the last ones on the job. So it was basically just in a pile of sweaters and jackets. So I kept it. I kept the backpack. I kept it in the vehicle for a while. I probably sat on it a couple months, and rummaging through my stuff, I found it. And basically, I was, at that time using. I had been released from jail, I believe.
So.
And I went back to the woman I told you about, to that house.
To what house?
To my address that I have.
Okay.
And this, like I said, I haven't made no attempts.
All right, so you.
I got talked into signing the checks. And I didn't realize the severity of the situation.
Oh, yeah, come on.
I thought it would go against my
You've been
credit
in
report
enough
or
trouble
collection.
for drugs and thieving that you knew exactly what the hell was going on.
I didn't realize the severity of the felony, the offense. I thought, like I said, I thought it was going to go against my collection or credit report. I wasn't that smart to know that I was committing a crime.
So you're either in Middleburg Heights or Wycliffe, and you find this duffel bag full of checks of a company that's in Willoughby, right?
I don't know where the company's at. I can't even remember what it was.
So, and then the duffel bag sat in a car for a while?
Yeah.
Months?
About a month or so.
And then you decide to do what? To take one of these checks? What did you do?
Yeah, I took one of the checks and signed it and made a withdrawal.
What do you mean you signed it? It was a blank check, right?
I put my name on it.
Okay.
Signed it to me.
So you signed it pay to the order of you, filled in $2,000. And then what'd you do? Sign the bottom of the check then?
Yeah, I believe so.
And
This is so long ago, it's,
who's Dusty Mays?
I have no idea.
Where's Ace Cash Express?
I'm not sure. It's a check cashing place, I'm sure.
Who's Constance Wagner?
I believe that was probably another check I wrote.
Okay. Well, who's Constance Wagner?
I have no idea.
Why did you make out a check to Constance Wagner?
I was using the money to get the drugs, Your Honor.
I know. Why Constance Wagner?
I'm not sure.
Why did you make a check out to Dusty Mays?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay. Why don't you have a discussion with him, and he can decide if he wants to keep lying to me,
I mean, I don't know
or if he wants to be straight with me. Okay.
Understood, Your Honor. All Donald wants is the truth.
Who's Constance Wagner?
I believe that was the name on one of the checks that I cashed, Your Honor.
Right. So when you went to the bank, or when you went to wherever you went, and you presented a check made out to Constance Wagner, I assume they asked you, are you Constance Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
And you
they did.
said, yes, I'm Constance Wagner?
Yes.
Why didn't you make the check out to like a male so they could probably see you're not a female when you walked in with the check?
Well, like I said, Your Honor, I wasn't in no shape or form. I was under the influence of drugs. I didn't even know where this took place. I forgot all about that incident also. It's been quite some time since these cases happened. Like I said, but I totally forgot. I'm not trying to lie. I just didn't remember, Your Honor.
It just seems curious to me that you wrote out checks to two females, presented the checks to cash. Did you cash any of the checks?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd probably, if I have this case, I'm sure they went through then.
You mean, so what you're telling me, you've done this so many times that you can't remember this one?
No, Your Honor, it's been quite some time that has passed, and I apologize.
It was a year ago. Okay. So you had these checks in your possession for a month, at least a month, right?
Yes.
It went from several months to a month. And
And I know about the tech company is the checks that I had in my possession.
right, that you found at some
Yes, during the course of me,
some building that was not in use when you were on a painting job.
yes,
Okay. So presumably TKR Tech, whose checks they were, have been out a bunch of checks for at least a month, up to several months, and didn't report it until the day you walked in to try to cash it on July 20th of 23. That seems unlikely to me, that they would just be missing checks and not know they're missing
well,
checks.
I believe that the people at the check cashing place knew that I wasn't who I was saying I was.
I mean, they got clued in that you weren't Dusty Mays?
Sure.
Imagine that. So you were doing this completely on your own, is that right?
No, Your Honor.
No, then
No, I mean, I was being driven. I had somebody drive me.
Who?
A friend.
Who?
Antonio Harris, what was his name?
Who's Antonio Harris?
He was the one that took me to the check cash.
I know, but he didn't just pluck you out of thin air and drive you to the check cashing place. So who is Antonio Harris?
He was somebody that I was in contact with that showed me where to cash the check.
Okay.
How
were
cash the
you in
check.
contact with him?
To a drug dealer.
Okay. When did you get in contact with him?
Prior that month.
Okay. When you found the
Probably
checks?
a week before I cashed it.
Okay.
Probably a week or so before I attempted to cash it.
All right, well, so what'd you tell Antonio?
I'd give him money if he drove me. And he told me I would be able to cash him there.
So Antonio's the one that directed it to Ace Cash Express?
Yeah. I didn't have a vehicle.
Where is Ace Cash Express?
I'm not sure.
Is it in Ohio
Yes,
somewhere?
yes, Your Honor.
Is it in Cleveland
It's in
somewhere?
Cuyahoga, probably, or Painesville out here. I'm not sure.
Do you have any idea, Jamie, where Ace Cash Express is?
I do not.
Could be Mayfield.
So first you went to 185th, right? You know, this,
I don't remember the sequence, Your Honor, how it went. I really don't. All I know is I made one horrible decision after another.
right.
I got involved with somebody that I had no business dealing with,
Who?
Mr. Harris,
Okay.
who led me to believe that it would be simple and easy and none of this would happen where I am today. Me being strung out on drugs and desperate like I was.
Well, but
I wasn't making.
You didn't cash a check to get money for drugs, did you?
One of the checks, yes.
I thought you cashed it to get an earn.
I used some of the money, yes. My granddaughter at the time during this had passed away. And what led me to come across was I was digging around and I found that checkbook. And I found the checkbook and I asked how I could get money out of this, who would be able to help me with these checks. And I was led to Mr. Harris. And I cashed several checks, Your Honor. And the money I used for drugs and the money I did do something with, but I'm not making an excuse, I'm just telling you what happened. I was dealing with a woman I'd been involved with for 10 years, a drug-induced relationship, solely out of convenience, trying to stay on.
See, these checks weren't found by you in a backpack in a building that was unoccupied. These checks were taken from the business. 3 checks were taken from the business. Care to elaborate how they were taken from the business?
That I don't know. That I don't know, Your Honor. I did find the tech company checks. I did find those. The other ones were given to me.
By who?
Mr. Harris, with the attempt of cashing them.
So now
I didn't steal the checks from no company or no
So
no
now we
business.
go from, you found them in a backpack in a building that wasn't occupied that you were working at, kept them for a month to several months in
The
the
tech
car,
company.
in the car, and then decided to cash them and called Harris to find out where you could cash them. Now it's, you just found one of them and Harris gave you the other 2.
Yeah, I had the tech companies, and that's how I was led into Mr. Harris, because that's what he was into.
What?
I had the company, the tech company, the TKR tech company. I had that checkbook.
I wasn't sure on how to write checks or how to get money
You had
or
a
where to
check-
go.
You had a checkbook, is that what you said?
Yes,
There were 3 checks.
I didn't count the checks, Your Honor.
Oh, Jesus.
And by making the attempt of the TKR tech companies, that's how I was led to do it again.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I found somebody that could help me cash the check, the tech company, and show me where to go to cash it and how to cash it.
What do you mean the tech company? You found.
And how to write the check.
So how did you know Harris had 2 checks from TK?
I didn't.
You didn't. It was just a coincidence that you found some and then he had some?
No, I was given his phone number because that's.
By
what
who?
By my dealer,
By your dealer. How did your dealer know to give you Harris's phone number?
because that's what the guy's into, I guess, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, what did you discuss with your drug dealer?
I asked him, I said I tried to write checks. I said I have a checkbook. I don't know how to get this money out of this company. Where could I cash the check? He told me to go to a check cashing spot or I didn't have a vehicle. And I said, well, who, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
And he gave me this guy's number to call him for a ride. I gave him a ride and this is what the guy was into.
And Harris
since I was so willing to
and
cash-
Harris just happened to have 2 of these checks himself from TKR.
No,
You-
those
well,
were
you
in my
just told me
possession.
a couple
Those
minutes
were in
ago.
my possession. The TKRs were in my possession. The other checks that you're talking about, I don't know where they came from. All I know is I attempted to cash them.
What do you mean, what other checks? You didn't know where they came from? What checks?
Well, if there's a Constance and
Well, you said,
the
you
Harden-
told me you wrote them out. You wrote it out to Constance Wagner, right? Isn't that what you told me before I left a little while ago? Didn't you tell me you wrote it out to Constance Wagner and then presented that to try to cash it and they wouldn't cash it?
yeah, that is what happened.
You haven't said one honest thing to me since I walked in here. Your story has changed so many times you can't keep your lies straight. I mean, I know who Dusty Mays is, okay? But you profess not to know who Dusty Mays is. You made a check out to Wagner, you did make a check out to Wagner. Harris had 2 of these checks somehow, and you just hooked up with him through a drug deal. Man, this is one of the single worst stories I've ever heard. So, what else you want to tell me?
I mean, through this, Your Honor, I am confused about these dates and these checks. I know the Constance, I don't remember exactly on what order I tried to cash these checks in, or if I even did cash the checks.
I mean, if you're making up a name, somebody to cash a check, Constance Wagner,
That's what I'm saying. The checks were-
Wagner is a strange name to make up.
Those checks were already made and given to me to cash.
By who?
By Mr. Harris.
You're the one, you told me that you found them.
I found the TKR tech companies. I found involved with this guy to begin with.
Did you give him the checkbook?
I did give him the checkbook.
This is a fluid story.
But I know I attempted to cash the checks, and I don't even remember if the checks were cashed.
So Harris wrote Dusty Mays on it?
I don't even remember writing that, Your Honor.
No, I asked you, did Harris write Dusty Mays? You said Harris filled them out.
Yes, he had to.
He wrote Dusty Mays
Yes,
on it?
yes,
He
I
wrote
did.
Constance Wagner on it?
Yes.
I mean, were you dressed up like in a wig or
No,
something that you
no.
appeared to be a female?
No, I was given a fake ID,
A
paperwork.
fake ID of females?
No, it was just my face on it.
Your face on an ID that had Constant Wagner's name on it.
Yes.
And Dusty Mays' name on it.
The Dusty Mays, I don't remember.
I do. I remember her. My guess is you were involved with some females to try to get these checks cashed, and it didn't work. That somebody took them from TKR, not found in a backpack, in a building in Middleburg Heights or Wickliffe, Cleveland Heights, 185th, Ace Cash Express. You're all over the place.
I'm just asking, Your Honor, please give me a chance.
Chance of what?
Chance of proving myself to you and into the court. I apologize for this. They said it was one bad decision after another. I can't even remember. I don't know how I even got involved with these people. I'm not putting nobody else here for. I'm the only one sitting here facing this, and they're all doing whatever they're doing. And through my ignorance and foolish belief that it wasn't as big of a deal as it was, is got me here. And I just don't know what else to say, Your Honor. But I certainly I'm not lying when I tell you I'm truly sorry for what I did. And I just need a break, man.
Constance Wagner, 73-year-old female from Chardon. So it wasn't just a made-up name. But you didn't put that name on there. Harris put the name on there, right?
I wrote the checks, Your Honor.
But you told me Harris wrote the checks.
I've signed them.
Harris wrote them and you signed them?
Yes. When I was attempting to get the money. Or when I did get them. I can't remember if they went through or not. If I would have known it was a 73-year-old woman, I wouldn't have even tried to cash the check. Like I said.
What difference does it make who it was?
It don't.
Okay,
It's still wrong.
So what does that have to do with it, that it was a 73-year-old woman?
Well, with your regards to being a better name or decent, something easier.
Well, nobody just made up the name Constance Wagner out of thin air.
Like I said, this guy was into this stuff, so he probably had.
But you just told me you made out the checks.
I signed the check, Your Honor.
Anything else you want to say?
Please, Your Honor. I just apologize. I just want to apologize, man. I'm not trying to lie to you. It's just the way everything's coming out. It's just I don't understand it anymore. I don't understand what I did first, what I did last, how it was written, if one was cashed or if it wasn't. All I know is I'm in a lot of trouble, and I don't want to go to jail, man.
Yeah, you've been in a lot of trouble doing all similar stuff for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Ms. Gold?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is asking for a prison sentence. The state does not believe that the defendant is amenable to community control sanctions. He has gone to prison in the past, And on his multiple cases that he has been on community control for, he has had community control violations, including as recently as September of this year for a case that is almost identical to this case, where in January the defendant was convicted of identity fraud and forgery in Cuyahoga County and missed repeated probation appointments. Based on the conduct and the continued conduct in this case and in his other cases, the state believes that prison is the appropriate sentence here. Thank you.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation. I've listened to Mr. Brzezowski, listened to counsel. And clearly not one thing you've said has been true. And you're very experienced at this. And you've been to prison a number of times. So what you attribute as a failed memory because you were high doesn't work.
Your Honor, I don't, please, Your Honor.
You're a lousy probationer. You don't do what you're supposed to do because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. You're doing the same thing in Cuyahoga County. You completely made up a story where these checks came from, how they came to be cashed. I doubt that Antonio Harris is even a real person, okay? So you're not amenable to community control. Count one, I'm going to sentence you to 12 months in prison. Count four, 12 months in prison. They'll be concurrent to one another with credit for 48 days and the costs. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate the conditions, they could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If your violation's a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation of 12 months or the time left under post-release control, whichever is more. Remaining counts are dismissed. Anything else, Ms. Gold?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson?
No, Your Honor. So you got 12 months.
What was I supposed to say, man? I mean, this is over 2 years ago.
I understand.
I mean, I don't know which check was wrote first, which check was last. And now I'm going to prison?
You got 12 months, he ran them concurrent, and then you got 48 days credit, so it's basically a month and a half, so you got about 10 and a half to go.
I mean, what the fuck did he want me to say, man? He's got me talking in circles and it will incriminate, want me to tell other people? Like, dude, I got involved with this guy and he's giving me these checks to fucking cash. What?
I'll meet you in the jail so we can talk about it.
I mean, what the fuck, man? What do you want me to say, man? What do you say?
Well, the last 30 seconds of that made me happy, so we're going to call it a night. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time.